So my name is Peter Wengert. I'm the Group Marketing Manager inside the Automotive Business Unit at Microsoft.
Okay, and the Automotive Business Unit, what exactly does that mean? What do they do?
So the Automotive Business Unit has been around for about 8 years. Our mission is to create a standard platform for applications and services inside the vehicle. So we work very closely with the car manufacturers and their suppliers to provide an operating system called Windows Automotive that allows them to do several things: navigation, speech interface, working with your existing mobile devices like Pocket PCs, smartphones. And we'll show you a little bit about what we have going on in our connected cars.
So you talked about the operating system being Windows Automotive. I've heard of CE and XP Embedded. Is it a variation of one of those?
So we're actually built on the Windows CE platform and have from the beginning. Right now we're at currently version CE 4.2, and our platform is called Windows Automotive 4.2. So we start with the core CE operating system, and by working with the automotive companies and their suppliers, we added an SDK on top of it that actually is very automotive grade. So it's built on the rugged, rich environment of CE, and then we make it automotive grade for the automotive industry.
So does that mean you're adding your own set of technologies or components on top of the core CE operating system?
Correct. So things like there's a user interface for automotive players called the AUI toolkit. There's also distraction control features that we put in there so that you can't watch movies or have a big distraction while driving. We also have connectivity to the car vehicle network bus that's existing in a lot of cars. And we take advantage of a lot of the speech applications and Bluetooth and communication protocols inside the core as well.
Okay, great. So should we take a look at what you put running in this vehicle behind us?
Sure, let's take a look at our prototype car.
Okay, let's go inside. Okay, so we're inside the vehicle now. So what kind of vehicle is this?
So this is one of 3 prototype vehicles we have. This is the Hummer H2 by GM.
Okay, and so what are we using Windows Automotive in this vehicle to do?
So we actually have a couple systems in here. One is a little bit about history, where we've been, and actually where we're going.
Okay,
so
let's take a look at the where we've been first, and then we'll look at where we're going.
So like I said, we started about 8 years ago, and we work with a couple of the car manufacturers and their suppliers. We started with what was called the Auto PC, and we worked with Clarion, and we actually built a reference design around an aftermarket device. So that device did DVD, navigation, it had a screen, it plays movies, it has compact flash support, it has an infrared support, and it's built on our Windows Automotive operating system, which is built on Windows CE. And so that aftermarket device, came out in the market about 5 years ago, was really ahead of its time. Speech-driven, does everything including the kitchen sink.
Okay, so that unit's in this vehicle. Should we take a look?
Cool. So let's take a look. So again, it's an aftermarket system we installed in the Hummer, and basically the interface to it allows you to do a DVD player, so kids in the back seat could watch movies. It supports a compact flash, so that you can bring your own digital music into the vehicle. It has a CD player, a radio, it has an address book, it has an infrared device. So now I could actually beam over all my contacts and addresses into the Clarion system so that I could do navigation and not have to type in all the addresses. It's got voice memos to remind myself what's going on. It also has messages and navigation systems.
Okay, so I'm looking at the unit at the bottom, but there's also a screen at the top that's connected to.
So think of this as the brains and the guts. This is where the operating system is. This is where all the hardware is. This is basically just a screen that's displaying the UI.
Okay, so that actually seems fairly fully featured. So what has changed between this version and the new version?
So a lot of what we heard from the automotive companies and their suppliers was, how could we take this software and actually use it to make automotive-grade navigation systems that are factory installed? So we basically worked with the automotive companies and their suppliers, and today we sell our Windows Automotive operating system to those companies, and right now we're in 23 car models from 10 OEMs. So in the US, you'll find us in the Mercedes S-Class, the Honda Accord, the Volvos, the BMW 7 Series, as well as in Europe with Citroens, Fiats, as well as in Japan with Toyotas, Subarus, and Mitsubishis. So we've actually grown up a lot since then, where our Windows Automotive operating system has really taken off in the industry to be a factory-installed option.
Okay, so do the manufacturers have the ability to just totally customize the operating system and also the hardware they're using?
So that's the nice thing about CE and Windows Automotive is we actually give them the operating system to create whatever system they want. So if they want a really high-end navigation system like an Alpine might make, they could do 3D graphics, nav systems, and create their own application for the car. Or if you're someone like in Europe where you maybe want more of a hands-free, lower-cost solution, you could actually scale it way back to no screen and have it more speech independent.
Okay, so the options that I have as a manufacturer give me the ability to hook into pretty much all the systems inside of the car. Entertainment, for music, also hooking into navigation, and maybe also into some of the control systems of the car for monitoring and so on.
So yeah, to an OEM, a car maker, the important thing is to get diagnostic information from the car. So by connecting to the vehicle bus, we could actually read that information off and get diagnostic information back to the car manufacturer or to the dealers. So it reduces their warranty costs, reduces their repair costs, and they could get that diagnostic information to make their vehicles better.
Okay, so can we get a demonstration of the latest version?
So what's cool here is I'll turn to my second system, which is the car manufacturers have really found a need to actually get more of a reference design again.
Okay.
Because every car model they choose actually has a different operating system sometimes and a different application. So when you buy a Mercedes and a Chrysler and a Ford, that DEC or that radio inside that system is different for every car model. So it doesn't scale very well. So the auto industry has come to Microsoft to say, how can we get more of a standard platform in the car? So what we're doing is building a reference design we codenamed T-Box, which actually helps define what a low-end in-car system will look like. And so we basically use our Windows Automotive operating system. We install it on a black box that could be installed in the glove box, under the seat, or in the radio system. And it's all speech interface. So we use Microsoft speech technology that's now comes with the Windows CE core. And actually we create a 3-button interface so I could ask for information rather than see it on a big visual thing. That gives us a couple things. One is a very low cost entry. So most nav systems today are in the luxury market. They're very high end, $2,000. We've been able to show a very scaled down version that brings your own cell phone into the car so that you're communicating with your own cell phone, and it lowers the cost to the car companies and to the consumers by getting rid of the screen and focusing on speech-only interface.
So using the cell phone as a data connection device to the outside world.
So that's what's really cool now is a lot of the data you see in the car is stale. You know, you're getting your nav system based on the CD. Now by bringing your cell phone in, you can not only do hands-free phone, but now you could use the data pipe from T-Mobile or AT&T and actually get live data like traffic or finding the cheapest gas station delivered to your car. So what we've done is we have our Windows Automotive operating system. We have a cell phone that we just brought aftermarket. It has Bluetooth in it. So we're actually pairing the phone to the car with Bluetooth. So I could keep the phone hands-free, keep it anywhere I want inside the vehicle, and now I could use my voice to interact with the car and get a whole integrated experience with cell phones and PDAs.
So how do I make the connection between the cell phone and this hands-free UI-less device?
So Windows Automotive ships with Bluetooth in it now.
Okay.
And so what I do is I need a Bluetooth phone. I pair the phone to the device. So just like any Bluetooth protocol you might have with your keyboard and your mouse on your desktop, it's the same technology that's using in the car with your phone. So the Windows Automotive platform in the car searches for devices. It'll recognize that there's a phone in the area. I pair that device once, and now every time I come in and out of the car, the cell phone is now integrated with the car's audio system.
Okay, great.
So now I could do simple things like just placing a phone call hands-free.
Okay.
So to make a phone call today, I've got to pick this up, bring it to my ear. It's very unsafe and actually against the law in most cities today. So what we're doing is basically by keeping this hands-free, I could touch a push-to-talk button and say, call Jason Farmer.
I heard Jason Farmer. Is that right?
Yes.
I have the phone, work, and mobile numbers. Which one would you like?
Work.
Jason Farmer at work. Dialing now.
So So we'll leave him alone, but basically the ability to keep my eyes on the road and hands on the wheel, I can now place hands-free phone calls using our Windows Automotive operating system that's paired to our Bluetooth cell phone. But not only can you get voice, now by the Bluetooth technology and connecting to the data part of the cell channel, now I can get a lot of real live production data like traffic, weather, stocks, and driving directions from web services. So I could actually ask the box, what can I say?
What was that?
What can I say?
You can say, repeat turn, recalculate, cancel directions, or get my, followed by one of the following alerts: traffic, driving directions, location, trip computer, stock quotes, weather, media, calendar. For example, get my alerts.
So here comes the power of the connected car. Get my location.
Here on What Microsoft Way in Redmond, Washington.
So let me explain what happened there. So by pairing the Bluetooth phone to the car, when I say get my location, it's not reading the data off a CD, it's actually going through the cell phone, connecting to our Microsoft Map Point web service. By sending the GPS coordinates to the car, it can now, through that Map Point web service, determine the location of the car.
So that means that all of my mapping data is always up to date because the MapPoint web service is always up to date.
Correct. And now I can start interjecting real live information.
So what else can I have delivered down here? Could I, for example, get things like email notifications and instant messages and those kind of notifications sent down to this device as well?
So all that's possible, but we want to make sure it's safe and secure for the auto industry and the drivers and passengers. So, you know, things like real-time traffic are very important. Things like emergency notification, if you get in an accident, being able to have an emergency vehicle reach you. Things like, you know, personal productivity stuff, like maybe you want to know stock quotes, driving directions to your favorite places that you might have stored in MSN, playing music that's your own music from digital content. So all those are possible, and really the good thing about it is the developers are really doing things that we could only imagine we could be able to do in the car.
So potentially I could be getting stock quotes, and if the stock has gone down sufficiently, couldn't that be a driving distraction?
So if it were to blare up in a big driver distraction way, probably. Here I could actually do it based on demand. So I could say, get my stock quotes.
Stock quotes. Microsoft Corporation rose 0.02 and is trading at 28.37. Intel Corporation is up 0.47 at.
So there it's at the user's control. So I said get my stock quotes, and I'm doing it in a way that is very safer, much more safer and secure than pulling up stock quotes on my laptop or my PDA or my cell phone. So making sure that we're integrating all these smart devices we use every day in the car to make it a safer experience, and also making sure that it is low cost to be able to put into a lot of vehicles that are on the road.
Okay, so that's one side of it, and that's all the benefits to the user. I can get stock quotes, I can get traffic, I can get some navigation, all those kind of alerts directly down onto my vehicle. Are there any benefits to the vehicle manufacturer as well?
So that's the good news, is that most car companies don't want to add costs to the vehicle. And so putting in all these electronics and connected systems, they really need to get value at it as well. So if you think of the car companies, once you buy a car and you drive it off the lot, there's not a lot of connection the OEM or the car companies have with that end user as they drive off. So one thing Windows Automotive does is provide a network to be able to connect to the vehicle network for diagnostic data. So now, if I have a check engine light that comes on, for example, rather than not knowing what that check engine light means, I as a user can maybe send check engine light data to a dealer or back to the car company. They could then be connected, get the engine code readings from the car remotely, and now be able to diagnose the problem for you. Say, hey, it's a transmission problem, it's something we should schedule you with a dealer right away. It looks like there's one a few miles away, would you like to stop by? So the whole connectivity to the OEM side is really to reduce the warranty costs, the repair costs, and stay connected to their vehicles so they could track information going around. But it's really up to the user if they want to decide to turn that technology on. Your road trip will never be the same going forward. So in the back seat here, we've got little Johnny could be watching a movie in the back seat. On the other headrest, we have Xbox playing. So the idea of a family road trip is really going to change in the future. And we're seeing more and more DVD players in the back seat and rear seat entertainment. So this is showing the example of doing rear seat entertainment. And for trade shows and for tailgating parties, you know, we do have a 46-inch plasma in the trunk that shows the connectivity as well.
Let's go take a look at that.
So this is what everyone needs, is a 46-inch. It's mainly for trade show purposes, but you know, tailgate parties is always fun. But the technologies, again, is Windows Automotive is at the heart of the operating system that's in the vehicle that is used to power the nav system that the car companies use. We connect to web services like MSN Autos or MapPoint to actually deliver the real-time web services to the vehicle. And we're using some of the speech technology from the speech team and the embedded team to actually improve the speech accuracy inside the vehicle. So all that makes our connected car, and the Hummer is pretty fun. The good thing about it, it's sort of brand neutral. It's not many people know it's from GM, and it is flashy at demos, but we do have several other cars showing our technology.
Well, this has been a pretty neat demonstration. Is there anything else you'd want to tell us or show us before we sign off?
So I think an important thing is to learn more about our technology and look at some of our scenario videos. You can find us actually at www.microsoft.com/automotive, or you can also find us at microsoft.com/Windows Automotive.
And if I'm a developer and want to get more information about building systems around this technology, how do I do that?
So you can go to microsoft.com, whack Windows Automotive to see how you can start engaging. But really, it's important that you line yourselves with a Tier 1 supplier or a car manufacturer, because they really control the environment in the car.